Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-mission.com. In the last video, we discussed about what exactly is Playwright, and I just gave you the brief introduction about Playwright. Now in this video, let's continue with the Playwright installation, and I will show you the folder structure and everything so that you should be familiar how you can get started with Playwright. As I said earlier, that in order to continue, you should have Node.js on your operating system. Now it could be Linux, it could be Mac, it could be Windows, doesn't matter, the process will remain same for all of us. In case if you're completely new, then I will be giving these two links in the description which will help you to install Node.js on your operating system. I have uploaded a video for Windows, but the process will remain same for Mac as well. You just need to download a DMG file and you can continue. Once the Node.js has been installed in your system, you need a Visual Code, or I will say Visual Studio Code, where actually we will be writing the code. So that also have created a separate video. So please have a look, make sure everything is up and running so that you can continue with Playwright. Okay. So this is the official website, which is playwright.dev. Now, in order to cross check whether I have Node properly configured or not, I will just quickly see my Node version. The moment I say Node space -v, I'm getting the version which is 16.15.1 at the time of this recording. Let me quickly see what is the latest Node version. So if we just type Node.js and click on the Node.js official website, the current version is, okay, this is the latest version 19.0.1, and the recommended, which is the LTS version 18.12.1. So any version which is above 14 should work. So I have 16, but if you have the latest version also, please go ahead. There's no issue with this Node version. Okay, so now Node is properly configured in my system. Now let me open the Visual Code as well. So this is my Visual Studio Code, and I will show you. Let me open once again. I will just open Visual Studio Code. So this is the fresh instance. You can see the Get Started window as well. Now let's create a new folder, and that folder I will open here in my Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop. So I'm using two monitors right now, so you will not see any folder here. Let me just create a folder called Playwright. Just a second. Let me rename this Playwright, and I will write YouTube. Now you can give any folder name. Make sure you are able to remember the folder name, and give some meaningful folder name. Don't give some ABC XYZ. So I created a folder called Playwright YouTube. Now let me open that folder in Visual Studio Code. So I will go here, and you can see this option called Open Folder. Click on it, and now I will click on Desktop. This is the folder which I created just now. How to create a folder? Just like right click, create a new folder, and we are good to go. So this is the folder which I have opened here. Now there are two options. You can start the command prompt, or I will see in Mac it's terminal, and in Windows it's a Windows command prompt. So I'm using Mac right now. I will use new terminal directly from here, or I can use this existing terminal. So what is the command that we need to execute? Let's go back, click on Get Started, and you will get this detailed article, or I will say the blog post, where they have mentioned everything, how you have to continue. Good thing here is we don't need to do anything. You just need to execute one command and everything will be set up in your system. Okay. So I will copy this command, npm init playwright @latest. So the moment I say latest, it will download the latest version for me. In case if you want to downgrade or you want a specific version, after you can mention the version as well. Okay. So as of now, I will continue with the latest version, but in case, let's say due to some compatibility issues, or maybe the few features are not working in the latest version, I might have to degrade, right? In that case, we'll write playwright and the specific version number. So come back to the terminal. In your case, if you are on Windows, it will be command prompt. First of all, I will check pwd, which is present working directory. Right now I'm in my user folder. So first of all, I will go to desktop, then I will say Playwright YouTube. Yeah, again type pwd, This is exactly where my control is now. I will clear this, and now I will simply paste the command which we copied, npm init playwright@latest. Now just hit enter, and now it will ask you a couple of things. It is asking, do you want to install the following packages? I will say yes. Now by default, okay, when you start installing, it will give you two options. Do you want to continue with TypeScript or JavaScript? When you don't select anything, by default it will take TypeScript. So if you are working with TypeScript, go ahead with TypeScript. Right now I will be using this complete series will be on JavaScript. So I will just press the arrow button and I will click on JavaScript. Now it is asking where to put your end-to-end test. So guys, the moment you install Playwright, Playwright also gives some sample test. So it is asking you where do you want to keep your test. By default, when you don't do anything, you can see the folder tests, right? It will dump all the tests in this folder. So I will not change anything. I will press enter. Now it is also asking add a GitHub action workflow. Later on, we'll talk about what exactly is GitHub Actions. So GitHub Actions is another service which will allow you to build your CI/CD on the cloud. So as of now, I will say no. By default, it is false, which is no. Hit enter. Now again, it says install Playwright browsers can be done manually via npx playwright install. So it is asking, do you want to install Playwright browsers? By default, it's true. I will hit enter. And now you can see it created one package.json file, and this is the JSON file. Okay, it was too quick. I will just show you. So it says wrote to this folder and it created one package.json file. So let's have a look. See, the complete Playwright is available now in the same folder, Playwright YouTube. If you want to see this folder, let me go to my desktop, and yeah, this one, Playwright YouTube. Everything is already available. So whatever you are able to see on the left hand side is exactly it is coming from this folder. Now this is a very, I will say, good feature provided by Playwright, that it is giving you everything, you know, on the fly. You just need to execute and see how it is running. Later on you can start customizing. So let's see one by one. It's very easy. Just stick with me for the next 10-15 minutes and you will understand everything. In this video we will be going through the folder structure. In the next video we'll start writing our own Playwright test. Okay, so first of all, it created one playwright.config.js file. It also created one test folder, and inside the test folder we have example.spec.js file. Again we have one more example, test examples. We have one more test here which is for to do app list. Then we have one package.json file. So let's start with package.json file. So this is the main file. So let's say you want to upgrade the Playwright version, or maybe you want to add any additional dependencies while working with your project, you will be modifying your package.json file. So right now by default these values are available, like name, version, description, okay, scripts, keyword, author. This is the main part. So at the time of recording this video, I'm using Playwright 1.27.1. In case if you're watching this video at later stage, you will have a different version. That's fine. But in case if you want to upgrade and downgrade, this is the place where you will be upgrading. Okay. So the second file is playwright.config.js file. Now this is the heart of Playwright. So whatever project level changes you have to make, or whatever project related configuration you have to make, you will be touching this file. Now if you see here, we can define many things. If you want to change the test directory, right now all the tests are available here. If you want to change the test directory, if you want to define the timeout, you can make the changes here. Whether you want to run in the parallel mode or not, which reporter you want to use, okay, what browsers you want to use, everything is available here. Okay, we will be changing this configuration file once we start working with Playwright. As of now, just go through this. Even if you're not able to understand, it's fine. Just go through this configuration file once so that you will get some idea what this file can contain. The one thing which I want to highlight in today's video is the projects. Okay, now don't get confused with the project and the browser. You can see here one projects, and you can see the browser here, Chromium, which is actually a desktop Chrome, Firefox, which is the desktop Firefox, WebKit, which is desktop Safari. It means whatever test I will be running, they will run by default on 3 browsers, that too parallelly. Okay, now if you talk about Selenium, we need to use TestNG in order to run the test in parallel mode, but here by default it runs all the tests in 3 browsers, that too parallelly. I will show you now within a minute once we start running our test. In case if you want to run your test against mobile viewport, you can make the changes here. Okay, again this part we will be touching later on, but as of now I would ask you to focus only at this part. Now coming back to this test, they have given one sample test which we will execute. The moment you run this sample test, it will open this playwright.dev web application. It will verify the title, then it will create a locator, and then it will have one assertion. It will click on a link, and again one more assertion. Again, this is very basic test which we will execute just to make sure that everything is set up correctly, everything is working fine. Once we get the confirmation that yes, everything is running fine, then we will start creating our own test. As of now, we will run this sample test. They have created one more end-to-end test. You can see it's a very lengthy test. Okay, this is just for our reference, but anyways, we'll continue with our own test. And the last part is the node modules. So you can see Playwright is coming as a module. So the moment you start Playwright, this is what exactly it comes. So it has basically 2 parts. One is Playwright test and one is Playwright core. Both is required in order to continue. Now it's very neat and clean, right? No fancy stuff, just one configuration file, one JSON file, which is package.json, one folder for the test, and one our node modules, which comes by default. Now how to run the test? For this, again, I will go back to the documentation. Just come down here. See, whatever I have explained here is already part of this documentation. Now, in order to run your test, you just need to run one command called test. So you will say npx playwright test. What it does, it will go to this test folder and it will start running your test. So let me copy this. Now same thing, if you want to execute the test directly, you can execute from the terminal, or you can open the VS Code and you can execute from here as well. So I will simply paste here npx playwright test and it will start running. But the question is which test? So for this, let me show you this part. If I open this config.js file, can you see this folder test directory? Dot means current working directory. Test folder, it means it will go ahead and check this particular folder. Now inside this folder, whatever spec file that you have created, it will run all of them. Okay, right now we just have one, so it will run one, but suppose if you have 5 spec file, it will run all of them in parallel mode in 3 different browsers. As of now, the moment I execute this command, which is npx playwright test, it will pick all the tests from this folder. In our case, this is one, and it will be running in 3 different browsers. So can you see this part? Fully parallel to true. Run test in files in parallel mode, and it will be running on 3 browsers: Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. So let's execute this. The moment I hit enter, okay, you can see 3 tests using 3 workers, 3 passed, and it was very quick. It was very quick because we are running a very basic test and it executed very fast. But the moment you see the console, it says pass, but where's the browser? We are not able to see anything, right? It worked in the background. So by default, all the Playwright test runs in the headless mode. When I say headless mode, it means you will not be able to see anything. It is running in the headless mode and it's running and giving you the result. It is pass or fail. That is a different part. Everything is passed as of now. 1 test executed in 3 browsers, so totally 3 tests. All are passed. Now what about the report? You don't have to do anything else. There's one separate command called show-report. The moment you run this, it will show the report as well. Everything is self-explanatory. It is directly giving you the command at the terminal itself. The moment you hit enter, see the same test example.spec.js file. This is the file that we executed. It executed on Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. Now if you see the performance wise, 1.8, 1.2, 1.7. Surprisingly, Firefox was faster. Generally, I see tests run slow in Firefox, but in this case, Firefox was the faster one. Now, if you click on each and every test, let's say click on this, it will show you what exactly steps it has executed. Before hooks, after hooks. Again, hooks are a little technical. I will talk about what exactly hooks in Playwright. As of now, no need to worry about all of this. And these are the steps which executed. Like it started with this application, verified the title, attributes, then it clicked on some link, then it verified one URL, and it ended the test. All three tests have passed. The tests are same but running on the different browser. Fine. Now it is giving you that serving HTML report on this port number. If you want to stop, press Ctrl C. I'm using Mac, so I will say Command C. Okay. In your case, Ctrl C. Now I will clear everything. So it was very easy, right? We quickly installed Playwright. There was some sample test we executed. It got executed by default parallel. Then we have seen the report. But still, the question comes, what if I want to see that how it is running, what kind of operation it is performing? If I want to see how we can do that, then instead of just running say test, add one more option called --headed. It means I don't want to run in headless mode, I want to run in headed mode. So just add --headed, hit enter, and yeah, it started very fast. Okay, it started 1 here, 2 in my secondary monitor. So let me run once again, and I will quickly shift here. Okay, I hope you got the concept here. So once we have the test, which is little lengthy, then I will get some time to bring that browsers here. But right now all the tests are running in the headed mode, just after adding this --headed. Now, why these commands are important, how we can utilize this command, all of that we will see one by one. As of now, by default, the reporter that we are getting is HTML reporter. So if you see here, reporter, right? If you want to use some other reporter, that is also available. So these are the reporters that you can use. If I open this, okay, so these are the different reporters available: list reporter, line reporter, dot reporter, HTML, JSON, JUnit, GitHub Actions, annotations, and so on. And third-party reporter showcase as well. So it's totally up to you. Slowly, once we move it, we will use few more reporters if required. Fine. So this is just to check everything is working fine, which is working fine in our case. Now in the next video, let's continue with some more tests, and we'll see what exactly is test, what exactly is this require Playwright test, what is test, what is expect, how we have to write steps one by one, how to put assertions, and so on. Okay, so again, a quick recap before we end this video. In order to continue, make sure you have Node.js properly installed. If Node.js is properly installed, you just need to execute one command, node -v. If you're getting Node version properly, it means everything is configured. Then open a Visual Studio Code where you will be writing the code. Before that, I created a folder called Playwright YouTube just for my reference. I created on desktop. Then I opened my terminal. I went to that folder and execute only one command, which is npm init. It created couple of folder structures and files for me. We have seen this file one by one. In order to run the test, we have seen two different commands. One is npx playwright test, which will run the test in headless mode, by default parallel in 3 browsers. If you want to see in the headed mode, just use -headed, and in order to see the report, just say show -report, and it will show you the report. Yeah, that's all about this video. So please give a try and let me know if you face any issue. If you're new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe this channel, share with your friends and colleagues, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.